Okay, good morning, all my young friends. Let me introduce myself. By name, I'm Srinivas. But however, I wanted to be your science friend. Okay. Uh, Basically, I myself made myself a science and technology specialist for children like you all. The reason behind, I want to make sure students of this nation must learn the science in a bit practical way, because science is not about only reading and writing from books. It's all about learning in a practical way by making and doing as well. So here today, the special day for me, as it is my godfather's 89th birthday. So I wanted to respect and continue the tradition of Guru Parampara, because initially in the beginning, I wanted to introduce my godfather, Sri A.H. Devadas. I met him only 3 times. First time at a place where he is demonstrating, a famous place in Hyderabad, that is IIT Ramaya's place. The second time at his house, third time in my laboratory at Hyderabad. So later after that, I didn't get opportunity to meet my godfather fourth time, because by the time I returned from United States and went to his place to give some presents to him for the kind of work he is doing to support some kind of instruments, then I came to know he is no more. Neighbors told me he is no more. Then immediately I started contacting his son, Pawan, at United States. I reached my Pawan, my godfather's son. Then 5 long years we have communicated together, and finally Mr. Pawan understood the kind of work I'm doing for entire student society of India. Then he sent me 2 carton boxes, and in which there are some good demonstrating stuff developed by my godfather, and those things are going to be demonstrated today, historic things. So before we go more deep into the demonstration what I have here, I would like to play 1 or 2 video clips as well about my godfather, the kind of work he used to do. You know for sure that there are so many kind of different energies. So I request all of you to recollect all the different kind of energies what you all have all across the globe from the universe. And at the same time, electrical energy, which is a form of energy again, electricity, a form of energy. But here what we need to understand, how come the electrical energy became very popular than many other energies? Suppose today around 86% energy what we all need in India, suppose say, that is supplied by the coal, and required coal is not sufficient enough from India coal mines, then we will be importing. That means the energy is somewhere else in the form of coal in some other country. But when we wanted that energy for our AC machines or fans and lights, whatnot, various applications in India. So what we do, we import that coal from various other countries, and then finally we burn here. In fact, suppose say Visakhapatnam Port Trust. Like there are some few port trusts from where the coal comes, few lakhs of tons through ships, and then we transport those coal in thousands of tons, from the lakhs of tons of a ship through train, the goods train. So the goods train can carry every single goods bogie around 60 tons of coal. So 60 bogies, such bogies will be there. Then 3,600 tons are carried. Such kind of many goods trains are going on every day to thermal power stations. So here is a question we all need to understand. Where all the places we have thermal stations. For example, we have one massive power thermal plant here called VTPS, Vijayawada Thermal Station, VTPS power station in Vijayawada, near about some 6,000 megawatt power generating capacity. Now they might have increased also, but they renamed the name also, they renamed it to Dr. Nalla Tatarao, who is the chief engineer of electrical department here in AP. So very famous man who did a lot of work for electrical department here in AP. That's why his name given to that thermal plant. So in Karnataka also there may be so many thermal plants. Okay. So why is that I'm asking all of you guys, like thermal power plants producing electrical power in the megawatts. That's what I told you. The country need near about 86% of country need to supplied by thermal plants. So see how massive, like, how much we are depending upon the coal, and then for how many long years we will be consuming coal, for how many more years we will be using it, what is the coal availability so far, and then so how much coal is there, so how much every time we are evacuating, like for how many more years it might come. And who made this coal? How many long years, millions of years it took for formation of the coal. And today we are consuming few decades. It is really going to be a tough time for all of us if we don't raise ourselves to make sure that all other different energy sources, like sun is giving free energy, green energy. So we all have to be very powerful making use of sun energy, given energy. Okay, so the reason I'm talking about all this, now the question what I'm going to give you all for today's in the beginning session, there are various n number of energies all across the universe, but with my personal experience, I understood people are clever enough to convert all the different energy forms to a common medium of transforming energy into electricity. So here is a question tag for all this happening is why. Note down please, why? Why people are converting all the energies from all the various places of the universe to transfer the energy from one place to the other. Why is that? They convert it into electrical energy and then again reconvert back to whatever energy they want. Suppose say Srinagar in winter time it's minus temperatures. Then what they do, suppose say, so they use heat energy through electrical energy. That means somewhere heat energy is there. So that heat energy somewhere they convert into electric energy. That electric energy will go to Srinagar and there they convert back to heat energy. So likewise, suppose say in Anantapuram area near Bangalore, there is so much wind energy. So somewhere where there is no wind, what we do, we convert that wind energy, we'll harness the energy in the wind and then through the windmills and then connect to that energy to the cable. And then somewhere where we need that wind energy or whatever way, so we'll again convert back to that particular required energies. So here what is that important interesting question for all of you today? Because this is a very small tiny question. But however, what Albert Einstein said is, if you can't explain it simple, which means you don't understand well enough to make him so this is really very useful point what he said is, so that's where what I wanted to make you understand. I don't want to share all my 40 years of experience of imagining the things. Imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited to whichever book you study. To understand the things in your own imagination and get them solved. So it is going to greatly help you all, my dear friends. So imagination is more important. That's where I wanted to give you small, tiny, little questions today. That the first question for today's demonstration, what is that I gave you is, why is that everybody, all the clever people of the universe convert that energy from wherever, whichever form it is, to electrical energy, and wherever they'll again convert back to whatever energy they want back on. So why is that they do? Why is that they have chosen the media of transferring energy from one place to the other is electrical energy? That is a question. Though it looks very simple, but to make me understand this question later, yes, definitely you have to work. You have to work on it. Okay, definitely. That's why I know for sure what all the kind of tiny questions I can ask to my children, and to answer my small tiny questions, how do they need to work hard? I know all that. Okay, so that's why I always think about that kind of smart questions, like critical thinking, because basically my interest is to raise critical thinking and creative thinking in my school going children. Okay, that's what is going, because ultimately that is only possible for all of you by applying your common sense. Okay, so applying your common sense is more important. So I wanted to make you interlinked, connected between how do you apply your common sense and the day-to-day observations, and then add some question tags to all that, and then find solutions for all those problems. So we have to have the problems. So having a problem is not a problem. Having no problem is the biggest problem, because having a problem is opportunity, so that we can have an opportunity to solve the problem. You understand? So let us do that. So anyway, at this point of time, another question I wanted to ask you, how do we measure electrical energy? Anyway, we need to know how do we measure all the different kind of energies, but at this point of time, as time is a constant, and I wanted to demonstrate so much of stuff and explain you all that. So next time we will meet and discuss lot many other things, but at this point of time, yes, we need to understand how do we measure electrical energy. Who invented electrical energy? Wrote down all these questions. You can answer me later. And which process people have invented electrical energy. So what is the static energy? What is the current energy? I mean, what is static electricity? What is current electricity? Current electricity, if you reverse that, okay, then electrical current will come. So you will understand better, because in books and all it is written current electricity. So people, the students won't be able to understand. But if you reverse that, then that will help you. Okay. So that is electrical current. Okay. 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 Now, a few questions I asked. And also, those who are interested to work with me, understand the fundamentals, they can also try to understand what is charge. What are the measuring units for measuring charge? Because without understanding charge, so what is capacity? What is energy? What is power? Yeah, that's another important. So what's the difference between power and energy? These are very tiny questions, but they will help you understand. And at this point of time, for today's our demonstration, we also wanted to think about, India is a developing country or developed country or underdeveloped country. This is one point which we have to work on, because in my childhood days, almost say 45 years ago, my school teachers told me India is developing country. But now also you need to tell me which is India is developed country or developing country. Okay. But I am not against about my own nation, because now I am going to tell you the secret. I always said, I means India, India means intellectuals. Okay, one day when I said this in United States, one of my person told me, that's where your Indian intellectuals could not produce. Next, Sir C.V. Raman. So Sir C.V. Raman is from Bangalore. Yes or no? Raman Research Institute is there in Bangalore. You are all there in Bangalore. I'm so happy to see you all there. Okay. So he is the founder for Indian Institute, Institute of Science, IISc Bangalore. Okay. Yes or no? So this logo, you can see one logo here. That is the Indian Institute of Science Bangalore logo. Now, why is that I'm talking about all that? That is the premier institution for sciences in India. So I wish my students will be new entrants at IISc, because every time I come there and it's open day to see and interact with all the young scientists, budding scientists, what are all the senior most professors working on the various science concepts there, my God. Just go and see the library, how many lakhs of books they have there. Anyway, why is that I'm talking about all this? Definitely, we need to work with the basic science, the core science, then the engineering applications and the technologies will go up so that we all can work together from innovations, from invention to innovations. So now another most important question from my side, invention come from innovation or innovation come from invention? Another important question, because a lot of times I found kind of difficulty, even sometimes teachers get confused there in India that invention come from innovation or innovation come from, because it's a kid tricky, like, a lot of times if you don't really understand the exact meaning of these things and the exact experiences of these things, then definitely we will be in trouble understanding. That's where I wanted to bring out a big clarity about all that. So Alexander Graham Bell invented telephone, but today we are using innovative telephone, the touch phone. Okay, so that is the phone. Next time we will do another session on that. They will discuss, because today is my godfather's birthday. So I wanted to more talk about electricity. That's where electrical power, very interesting. But the importance of electrical power is somewhat very interesting. That's where in my school days, I'm more interested in science, but later might be in 7th class, I turned towards physical science. And then by 8th class and all, I'm more into electrical. And by 9th, I made my wireless sets and all. So into electronics and all. And then I went into so many deep area. So power electronics and communications and satellite communication, routing internet via satellites to the nation and all the different activity I'll share with all of you later. But now at this point of time, we'll more focus onto the electrical area. Now, another most interesting, I wanted to raise your inquisitiveness of knowing the basic facts of electricity. That's what I'm asking another question. You see, as I told you, the coal, the goods train with 60 bogies and then 60 such kind of bogies, with every single bogie with 60 tons of load. Then what's happening? The electrical engine is pulling all the bogies, electrical engine. Yes or no? The train engine, electrical engine with the connection, one connection up above. So suddenly if I stop the electricity to the engine, what happens? Can anyone say what happens? You all know that the train stops. All that load, retardation, as if someone applied the brake. Within a 200 meter to 300 meter, because of the momentum and all, the frictional force and all, yes, definitely that will stop somewhere just within 5.5 kilometers. But now once again I switch on. Then what happens? Again it runs, because the motor runs, the 6000 HP motors. Recently, Indian Railway developed a 12,000 HP engine, very recently, last week, very powerful engine. So otherwise around before that 6,000 HP and 4,000 HP. So they can, again the motors run, and all that 3,600 tons of load can pick up, like at 120 speed and all whatnot. Okay. Why is that I'm talking about all that? If I measure the mass of the cable which is feeding power to the train, when the power is there, X mass, and if the power is not there, the same X mass. That means without much change, having no much difference in the mass, but it makes the massive mass move. Underline this. That is most important fact. Okay. Otherwise, if you wanted to run your bus or diesel, any truck and all, you have to have 300, 400 liters of diesel. So that has its own mass. Okay, but however, in that electrical thing, how interesting is that, you see? So I'm not saying that electricity has no mass, but you need to understand, you need to grow to that level. Okay, that's where in the beginning I asked you what is the question, what is the charge. That is the reason I asked you what is the charge. Okay, what are the measuring units for charge. Similarly, what is electron? Write down, because tomorrow you will say, sir, what is current? You know, the power, electrical power is product of voltage and current in any given basic circuit. You will say that. And then you will also tell me, as per your books and all, you know, the voltage. Voltage is what? The potential difference between any given 2 points is a voltage. Okay, that's fine. All this book is knowledge. Okay. And tomorrow you will also tell me, sir, you know, flow of electrons are nothing but current. So that is denoted in I with our books, measured in amperes. So if you multiply my circuit amperes to my circuit voltage, then you get the power. That is what, you know, these are all bookish knowledge, you all will say. But now, my kind of question, I told you, I'm going to ask you very small questions. My kind of questions for all of you is, if I give you 1 watt of electrical energy to you in a box, okay, what is that you can do with that given 1 watt of electrical energy? Write down this question. What you can do with 1 watt, what a 1 watt can do. A simple way you can write watt, W-H-A-T, watt, 1 watt, W-A-T-T, 1 watt can do. That is what is important. Okay. Very interesting question. Yes or no? Now, I'm going to ask you, see, I'm going to show you one. What is this? Can anyone say what is this? Can anyone say what is this? No, you can't say this. Can anyone say what is this? No? It is, some people are saying battery, some people are saying cell, some people are saying, sir, 1.5. Some people are saying, sir, a cylindrical thing like a bullet, whatnot. So many answers are coming from all of you, okay? So, now my question for all of you, my dear young friends, if at all in a common sense, if I say it is an energy box, there is some energy, electrical energy inside this, because of the chemicals and cell formation, whatnot, okay? That's all there in your books. Now, my small tiny question in this is, how much energy is there in this box? How much energy? In this small cylinder like a bullet. How much energy? So, answer me later. Like energy is measured in watts. So, you can always answer me milliwatts or microwatts or watts or kilowatts or megawatts. I don't know. But you need to answer me how many watts of energy is there in this. If I ask you how much sugar you have at home, you can tell me the answer by 1 milligram or a gram or 100 grams or 250 grams or 500 grams, half a kilo or a kilo, or that is all based on your how many sugar crystals you take for count and all based on. Similarly here, how you are going to count all that, I don't know. But definitely, I want you to answer this tiny question. If at all, some people always play with some HW batteries. These days, children are talking, calling everybody, every single student working with HW battery. If I show that battery, I have here. Let me see here. Yeah, you all know that I had to go. I had to go and get it from somewhere. But you know for sure that HW battery. Okay. So a lot of students they say, sir, 9-volt battery. If asked, okay, 9-volt battery. HW battery and 9-volt battery. But that's a, you know, like a matchbox, rectangular shape. So there is some energy inside. So this 1.5 is not answer, that 9-volt is not answer. I'm asking something different. Anyway, I'm expecting you guys to be practically to grow to that level, okay? So how do we understand? Suppose say for example, here I have another something called very small than this. So A size, double A size, triple A size, all these sizes. So size is changing, but here it is 1.5, 1.5. So my expected answer from you is not this 1.5, not this 1.5. I am asking something beyond. Okay, you need to grow to that level to answer my such questions. Okay. Anyway, now it is half an hour for our session, for our this theoretical part. Now let me connect to the theory, the practical demonstration part.